Dear soul, from realms beyond dot, where truth echoes, and light illuminates all that is a reason, a sacred reason. You found this video today. It is not random, it is not by chance, and it is definitely not coincidence. Something within you, perhaps a silent knowing, perhaps a screaming urgency, has been searching for answers that logic alone cannot touch, cannot grasp. You've likely felt it. That subtle pull, a gentle nudge from the cosmos. That strange sense that something bigger is unfolding behind the scenes of your ordinary life, and now, here you are, as if summoned, as if called into this moment. The timing isn't just perfect, it's precise, it is an alignment. What you're about to hear isn't meant for everyone. It is not a universal truth for all ears. This is sacred knowledge, disguised as simple words, hidden truths that only reveal themselves when your inner world, your consciousness is finally aligned to receive them. This isn't just another explanation of reality, a mere theory. It's a key, a profound tool, a mirror reflecting your true self, a signal that you've stepped onto a threshold, a divine doorway. Most will never even notice. The door is open now, and the moment to walk through it is yours. Not all eyes see the same world, even when they're open. Even when they look at the same thing, there are layers to reality, dimensions of perception that remain invisible to the unread, to those not yet attuned, veiled, not by secrecy, but by vibration, by frequency. Consciousness works like a key. It doesn't force doors open. It simply tunes into new levels of truth. When it's aligned, when you are ready, you might read a book 100 times, but on the 101st, the words suddenly catch fire. They ignite within you. What changed? Not the book you did. Your perception shifted. This evolution, this inner growth, doesn't happen through age. Or through formal education. It unfolds through inner integration. Through processing and refining, pain digested becomes wisdom, a profound understanding. Confusion, alchemized, transformed, becomes clarity, a crystalline vision. And it's through this quiet refinement, this subtle transformation, that perception shifts. The fog begins to lift, not when we seek more, but when we release what blocks the view, what obscures our sight. The sacred hides, not to tease you, but to protect you, until you are ready. Think of it like spiritual eyesight, adjusting in a dark room. The more you learn to sit with silence, with discomfort, with uncertainty, the clearer the unseen becomes. A truth may have been sitting in your life for years, patiently waiting for you to slow down enough to feel it, to truly perceive it. It's in those still moments, when the world softens, when the noise subsides, and you stop pretending, that truth finally whispers back. Most people try to outrun this process. By forcing insight, they devour courses, they chase gurus, they demand signs from the universe, but consciousness doesn't respond to demand. It responds to readiness, to your inner state of reception. Maturity isn't about knowing more, accumulating facts, but about carrying less noise within. Less internal clutter. A calm mind becomes a mirror, clear and reflective. That's when you begin to see what was always there, always present. You don't climb too higher truths by climbing higher ladders, by external effort. You descend into yourself, into your own depths. With each descent comes release of identity, of certainty, of the illusion of control. And then something curious happens. You begin to understand things, not with your intellect, but with your presence. With your whole being, wisdom arises. Not through answers, but through deep, inner listening. One of the clearest signs that you're ready for a new truth is when old explanations no longer satisfy you. What used to comfort now feels hollow, empty. What used to fit now feels tight, constricting. This isn't a crisis, it's a doorway, an invitation to growth. Growth rarely announces itself in fireworks, in grand displays. It usually enters through a sigh, a quiet resignation, a silence, a sudden inability to pretend anymore. Every ancient mystery school taught that knowledge was only given when the seeker was purified, when the vessel was ready to hold what it asked for in modern life. This purification looks like healing wounds, questioning inherited beliefs, shedding false roles. You begin to crave simplicity, silence, and meaning, and through that shift secrets start to bloom. Truth doesn't hide it, waits patiently, and the moment you stop chasing the light and start becoming it, reality begins to reveal its hidden design. Through you, reality isn't something you live in, it's something you generate. You create. Jacobo Grinberg, a brilliant mind, saw this long before most dared to question the script, the accepted narrative to him. The world we touch and see is not fixed or objective, but a filtered expression of consciousness, interacting with what he called the fractional matrix. This matrix, an infinite field of possibility, bends and responds to our inner state, to our vibration. In other words, the projector isn't out there, it's within. It is your consciousness. Grinberg wasn't speaking in metaphors. He backed his insights with research, blending neuroscience with ancient shamanic wisdom. His work with Mexican healers revealed what science still resists. That thought and energy are not separate. They are interwoven. What you believe shapes what you perceive, and perception literally molds your experience of time, of space, and of self. You aren't a passive observer of your reality. You're the sculptor of the very clay you walk on. Every thought is like a brushstroke on the canvas of the matrix. If your mind is filled with fear, with confusion, or unworthiness, your world reflects it. Sometimes subtly, sometimes painfully. But when your inner narrative begins to shift toward curiosity, toward acceptance, toward presence, so does the script of your reality. The matrix isn't punishing or rewarding you. It's mirroring, it's reflecting your inner state. Modern society has taught us to outsource truth. 2 experts, 2 institutions, 2 screens. Grinberg flipped this on its head. He believed direct experience, shaped through inner silence, and conscious awareness was the only valid method of knowing, of perceiving truth. His disappearance remains a mystery. But perhaps it wasn't a vanishing. Perhaps it was a crossing, a transition into another layer of reality. Think about déjà vu, or meeting someone for the first time and feeling ancient familiarity. These aren't glitches, they're ripples from the matrix responding to your frequency. Grinberg suggested that the more coherent and aligned your energy, the more the universe bends to meet your soul's blueprint. Reality stops being random, it becomes responsive, a dynamic feedback loop. This concept can feel overwhelming until you realize it's empowering. You're not at the mercy of your surroundings. You are the tuning fork. You set the frequency. Want to shift your experience? Start by shifting your attention. Feed your mind with symbols of beauty. Your heart with practices of gratitude, your body with moments of stillness. The matrix listens, it responds. Grinberg's theory doesn't ask for belief, it asks for experimentation. For direct experience, meditate with intention. Speak your day into being. Watch how people respond when you show up grounded, anchored in your truth. Small shifts echo loudly across this energetic web. Your choices, subtle daily decisions are like codes, and the matrix decodes them with precision. The deeper you realize that reality is elastic, the more seriously you begin to treat your thoughts, not as private noise, but as sacred architecture, building blocks of your world. Ever walked into a room and instantly felt the energy before a word was spoken? That's not just intuition, it's resonance, it's vibrational. Alignment. What surrounds us is more than environment, it's feedback, it's a mirror. The people you attract, the chaos or calm you live in, the patterns that keep looping, they all whisper stories about your inner landscape. Life doesn't speak English, it speaks energy. Most don't want to hear this. It means taking radical ownership of your reality. If the world looks unkind, perhaps it's reflecting your inner battle with worth. If it feels empty, perhaps it's echoing a numbed out heart. This isn't blame, it's revelation. It's a profound truth. You don't change the mirror by scratching the glass. You change it by tending to the one who's looking. By nurturing your inner self. Your reality is like a dream that listens in real time. Ever noticed how when you feel grateful, more things arrive to be grateful for? Or how a bad mood colors even the kindest gesture? As suspicious, that's not magic. It's alignment. Your internal state interprets and filters every experience. Change your state, and the story rewrites itself. Some call it manifestation, others call it projection. But let's go deeper. The outer world doesn't just reflect what you think, it reflects what you believe you deserve. And those beliefs often live in the shadows, the unspoken rules that you absorbed in childhood, the scars you hide under success, the guilt you carry. Quietly. These are the silent architects of your world. Want to shift your external reality? Start with micro adjustments. Tiny, consistent changes. Instead of trying to force outcomes, observe reactions. Notice who drains you and who expands you. Reframe one limiting belief a day. Sit with one uncomfortable truth. Create one habit that affirms your value. These tiny calibrations ripple far beyond what the eye can see. Remember, every relationship is a mirror, especially the ones that trigger you. The person who disrespects your boundaries, a test. To see if you uphold them. The one who doesn't see your light, a nudge to see it yourself. The friend who disappears when you evolve, proof that you've outgrown the skin they knew. Life reflects your choices, even the ones you make silently. This isn't about becoming a perfectionist of positivity. It's about becoming honest with your frequency, with your vibration. When your inner world softens, aligns, and stabilizes, the outer world rearranges. Not immediately, but inevitably. It may look like coincidence, but it's actually coherence. And when you finally see yourself clearly, the world starts to smile back. Not because it changed, but because you did. Some truths don't hide, they wait, they linger, just beyond the fog of assumption, of fear, and conditioning. These veils aren't made of fabric or fiction. They're built from wounds we haven't healed, beliefs we've inherited, and stories we never questioned. They filter what we think is real, making the miraculous seem mundane, and they only dissolve when we're truly ready to see, to perceive. To know. The truth that is always there, waiting for you. Are you ready to see the deeper design of your reality? What inner shift will you make today to unlock a new truth? Your journey of awakening is now.